Good morning, fellow bass fanatics. This morning I wanted to talk to you a bit about a style of fishing I love. Really, it's really how I got into soft plastic fishing, and that is incredibly effective and a lot of fun because it's light. You're fishing light lines and light rods, typically small lures. Usually in estuaries, but sometimes on the coast as well, but more often than not in the estuary. So I mean, the first and most important thing is that you have a rod and a reel and the right lines that you're happy with, that you're comfortable with. At the moment, I'm fishing the lighter favorite, the 8.6 to 24 gram, and I find it fantastic for this type of fishing, right? So I'm fishing a lot of, like the heaviest jig head I would be fishing would be 10 grams, and that'll be in fairly strong flow. There's the 10 gram batchy, right, from Decoy, and you can see, look at the quality of the hook, like you're not going to bend out, right? Incredibly important. There's one of my favorite finesse lures, the 5-inch haze down. It's just caught me so many fish over the years. I love it. I love it in a variety of colours. I carry it in a variety of colours. I think for this style of fishing, colour is important. But as I was saying, the most important thing is to have the right rod that you're comfortable with, the right reel. Make sure your spool and your line, I'll be down to 16 pound braid. Sort of 12 or 14 pound fluorocarbon, 12 if I can get away with it. I have some quality fluorocarbon on the way. The thing to look out for in fluorocarbon is don't buy soft fluorocarbon. It's rubbish. It's no use. There's no knot strength in it. It's just ridiculously bad. You want hard fluorocarbon, and then tie whichever knot you're happy with, whether it's a double Albright and 2 half hitches or the FG knot or whatever. You can put a touch of super glue on there or not, whichever. I personally don't anymore. I find the 2 half hitches, I'm a double Albright man, and I find the 2 half hitches, the clip breaks before the leader breaks. What to say about finesse fishing? Well, the first thing you've got to get right is the weight of your jig head, right? Which means that no matter what bait you're fishing, right, you're going to need to know what weight of jig head at that state of tide will bump along naturally. So if you can imagine yourself like a river with the tide flowing past you left to right, you're casting your bait back up the current and letting it trot down, right? So you're just staying in touch with it, particularly now when the weed has died out, and you're letting it just tip along the bottom, right? And then you're filled up and you strike into the bass, right? So the really important thing is to have the right weight of jig head. Does the style of jig head matter? Well, I think so. I certainly like stuff I don't like round bald heads. I just have no confidence in them. I don't know why. I'm sure people catch lots of bass on them, and you can, no doubt fellas will show me pictures. Look, I caught this, and that's fine. But I have to fish what gives me confidence. Like, everybody has to fish their own way. Like, that's the whole deal, isn't it? So heads I particularly like that little fella there now. That is the 5-inch 1-up shad from Sawmura, matched with a 7 gram rolling shad head. I mean, just lovely. Just flicked out there and allowed to bounce along the bottom, bit of lift and draw, get it to wiggle back down. I mean, just an absolute fish slayer, right? But it's about just staying in touch with that bait, because fish will follow for quite some time, you know. They'll follow for quite some time, and often it's when the bait gets close to the shore that they see their chance, and boom, they hit you, right? There's another lovely little bait that I've been doing very well on this year. It's the Madiel 90, that's it in IU, and it's on a 10 gram Texas Power weedless. What I really like about that is, particularly in the estuaries, it allows me to throw it in amongst the bubble rack and everything else, and I know it won't hook up. And that very subtle little tail, right? And you can see, like if you think about the sand eel that are around, you know, it's perfect profile for our sand eel. I mean, it's just a perfect match, right? So really like those two. Obviously gonna plug our own lure, right? That fished either weightless or weighted, right? Will do extremely well. Again, fish the same way, up the current and just letting it run down, keeping the U in the line. And the minute you see that U tighten, you're banging into the fish, right? Like, you can get weighted hooks that go up with quite a bit. I think that's 5 grams, right? And that's from Gamakatsu with a white 1-up shad. These I really like. I just love the heads, right? I just think they're class. That's again the Madiel, but it's the Ulti Evo head, and they come in a range of colours. I've also ordered a bunch of lures from there's a band of anglers. It's Patrick Sabile, the Hyperelastics. They've done a 4.5-inch sand eel that just looks fantastic, and it's tough. I mean you can absolutely stretch the plastic on this thing and it won't break. Yeah, so that's it. Make sure you're well prepared, have plenty of baits, right, and plenty of colours, right? So here's another old favourite of mine. That's the X layer, and that is this the 4.5-inch in. Hang on now, let me get my glasses because I can't read the colour code on it. That's 500G. So absolutely lovely. Like, I mean, just perfect. Like, look at that. Lovely, right? And on a 10, 7 or 5 batchy head, that's just going to sit up and pop along, and any bass that it goes past is going to find it hard to say no to. Remember to keep your lure bags closed, you know, the Ziploc closed on them, because they do have added scent and it does make a bit of difference, right? I see a lot of the French guys adding Halco to their hard lures, Halco scent, and they swear by it. I've already shown you, I wanted to show you this fella. Absolutely love these lures, right? It's the Curly 4 5-inch X-Layer. I mean, it just has beautiful action on the drop out of that curly tail, right? The curly tail I first came in contact when I started pike fishing with my buddy Tommy Buggy. You know, it's as effective for bass as it is for pike. So they're on the drop, right? The lure is just working lovely, you know. And if you lift that tail, will give it a lovely wiggle, you know. It really is. I'm going to just rig it here so you can see it rigged, right? So I'm actually going to rig this through the flat side. I'd rather rigging these through the flat side. I know we had that debate the other day, right? So that's what it looks like then. I mean, super. Just absolutely super. Cracking bait. Okay, so I'm going to put that one back in the bag to keep the scent. Yeah, so all of that stuff is going to be available. Coyote heads, I won't get caught out without them. They're just fantastic, right? The coyotes in the 14, or is it 50, 14, 10 and 7 gram. Just fantastic for any of your paddle tail or straight baits. You get into your classics. I have a packet here somewhere. I had a packet somewhere. They seem to have gone astray. No, can't put my hand on them, it doesn't matter. Oh, here they are. So the giant X-Layer in Wakasaji. I mean, when the lawns are about, or even garfish, you throw that and the bass will just home in on it. And bass, like any other species of fish, they get very focused on particular size and profile of bait fish. So sometimes it becomes very difficult to match the hatch. Your option then, of course, is to go for a reaction strike and start throwing big lures at them to annoy them or whatever. Another guy that I won't go without, right? The dark sleeper. Absolutely lethal. So slow and steady is the way to go, right? Let it hit the bottom and keep it down there. Just slow retrieve. Slow retrieve. Let it just bump, 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 bump. You know, and it's just about fishing it enough to get a few fish on it and you'll start to have confidence in it, right? I know when I first saw it, I was like, hang on a second, I'm not so sure about that, but I turned out to be totally wrong, as usual. Absolutely fantastic. Have it coming in a range of colours, have it coming in Gobi and Donko, which is a colour I really love. And finally then, our old friend, the sleeper craw, right? Probably the most patient of them all. This I tend to throw into anywhere where I've got a back swool, or if I get to sight fish, if I see a fish, I'll throw it and try and edge it in front of them. You know, the hook is totally, let me show you, totally disguised within the lure, right? So I can completely fish that through a bed of weeds, no problem whatsoever. Be careful though, because I mean, those claws give a lovely little waggle, right? But don't mix them with your other plastics, otherwise you're going to end up with a big goopy mess. They're that type of soft plastic that doesn't mix with other plastics. Yeah, so that's it, guys. Just a little bit on finesse fishing, just to keep us going for the day that's in it. Hopefully we're going to get another shot at the bass. I know it's very cold, but I certainly hope to get out there again. I've just gotten out of the tank and I'm feeling a lot better today, thank God. I'm heading home to just check in on my dad. He's just back from France, and fair play to him, 89, going out to France by himself. He's some bio. No better man. But I just want to go in and go home and say hello and see how he's doing. So tight lines, folks, and we're almost there. So looking forward to kicking off and see how we get on. So thanks again for all your messages and your support, and please like and subscribe. It makes a huge difference to me. So thanks very much and have a good day, everybody. Bye bye.